convinced my husband don't even like me anymore. I'm gonna try to say this without crying because I'm a little emotional right now. But I decided to kind of put myself out there and make a sexual joke, and this man made a gagging noise. He went, ugh. Really? Oh, a lot of y'all were saying that maybe I should talk to him and not the internet. You don't think I tried that? I communicate with my husband. He knows my feelings. He knows where I stand on things. It's him that doesn't communicate. Okay.
You might hear women talking about their relationships and, like they get on the internet and they say, give us like some insight to their relationship. I don't understand for the life of me how men could, with a straight face, like what they're saying, what the women are saying isn't valid, and how we can act like is it's excusable. The behaviors of the men is actually excusable. Like the stuff that I hear from women about men, it's indefensible. I cannot defend men. I can't do it. I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah, that's freaking that. This is terrible. This is terrible. Women reveal the worst side of men, and because I'm a man and I don't see the worst side of men. I don't think women see the worst side of men. Children see the worst side of men, but I don't see the worst side of men. I see the worst side of myself. I know the worst side of myself, and that often isn't revealed to my friends, to my male friends. They never have to deal with me in that capacity. So the people who have seen the worst of me is like my wife and my brother and my mom. You know what I mean? But like the general, you know what I mean? Like general men, they don't know what the fuck. They think I'm a fucking nice guy. They think I'm public. Oh, that's a nice guy. That guy's cool. Oh, I love that guy. So I know that about myself. So I know that I just assume that about every other man because I know that that's the truth about us. So when I come across information like this, I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing any defense for this.
I'm convinced my husband don't even like me anymore. I'm gonna try to say this without crying because I'm a little emotional right now. But for starters, he ain't slept in the same bed with me. He's been sleeping on the couch for the last like 2-3 months. At first, I thought it was because my toddler's always in the bed with me, but there's nights that he gets in his bed and my husband still chooses to stay up playing games all night and then goes to sleep on the couch. And then last night, he was giving my son a bath. I was getting stuff ready for to get the toddler ready for bed and whatnot. And I had like made a sexual joke to him, which I haven't really done that lately because I don't feel loved and whatnot by him. But I decided to kind of put myself out there and make a sexual joke. And this man made a gagging noise. He went, ugh. Really? Okay, like, why are we together?
Good question. I think I have an answer to that. I'm gonna start with the end. I think the reason you're together is men will live like this if he's not cheating. I'm assuming he's not cheating. I'm gonna assume that, you know, he's not getting it from anywhere else because he's at home playing video games. You know what I mean? A lot of times, men in these scenarios, they they are content in misery. But the the problem with this is that men are miserable and women are miserable in this situation, right? But the men are always miserable. So the woman being miserable doesn't affect him because he's always miserable. Men are miserable all the fucking time. With women, without women, we get everything we want. We don't have anything. Like men are miserable. We find a way to fuck it up, and and be be miserable. Just period. Um, so men can exist in these situations way longer than women can. Women are like, this is how you live. I don't want to live like this. There's so much more to life because women knows what it feels like. Women know what it feels like to not be miserable. They know what it feels like to connect with other human beings. They know what that feeling feels like. Men don't. So we're NPCs, so we could just go through life and suffer through stuff or whatever the case may be. But also men think that this is how it's supposed to be in a relationship. A lot of men actually believe that relationships should be sexless. They should be you should hate your wife, she should hate you, but you guys stick it out and because of your vows or what, you know what I mean, or for the kids or whatever, lie you guys tell each other. That's why you guys whatever lies they tell themselves. And that's why you will hear a lot of people talking about how like relationships are hard and marriage is hard and da 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 da. And they act like it's a matter of fact. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be hard, right? Like relationships don't have to be hard. They don't. We don't need all of this negativity if people just communicated and mainly the man was to be honest and vulnerable and open. Then, I don't think relationships would have to result in these conditions. Um, that would be my reason for that. So I mean, a reason. There are many reasons. He could be cheating. He could be waiting for her to leave. He could be making him miserable so that she will leave him. All those things, right? He could be punishing her for, choosing the child over him, or what I mean, all types of weird shit. I could think of that men do in these scenarios. But that is, primarily a lot of times it's men just are okay with wallowing in misery. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. He doesn't want to be with her at night. And my wife, I remember one time she had came to me, even recently this happened. She was saying like how, and I let me preface what I'm about to say with I love spending time with my wife. I can't wait to spend alone time with her. But sometimes I get into like I'm just like unaware because her and I have completely different schedules for the most part, even though we both wake up at the same time. But we live our professional lives are completely different. Um, so a lot of times, like, and I eat at weird hours and stuff like that. Like it's just weird. We're just on different schedules sometimes. And if I'm not like aware, if I'm not clocking it, I could I could do things that could come off as like I'm avoiding her, right? Which this is what happened recently. Like it was like I would say like three out of the last like this recently, but like three out of 5 nights or 7 nights or whatever. I was downstairs and I made my meal and then I ate it downstairs. So and it was late at night, so my kids get ready for bed. They get in the bath and all of that stuff. And then at that time, I like would walk my dog and then I would come back in and then I would cook dinner for myself and then I would eat. And that would be like an hour and a half, like that whole thing. But that starts at like 7:30, 7:38. So now, and the kids are in bed at 7:38. So really that should be the time when her and I start to get our alone time. But instead I was coming upstairs at like 9:30 and it was just too late. She was going to bed. She got to wake up early. She going to bed later. We both wake up early, but she had to go to work, so it was different. So yeah, she would just she just was like, hey, like you're staying downstairs too long. Da 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 da. What's going on? And I was just like, oh shit, I didn't, and I just wasn't aware of it. I didn't think about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, cool. Like, all right, I'll make sure I eat sooner and you know what I mean? Like I'll cook my shit real quick and I'll come upstairs, whatever it is. So that's what I've been doing lately, and it's been better. We back on track. Um, if your wife brings that up to you, because that's what I'm saying when I say like the relationships don't have to be hard, is like if she voices to me that she's not feeling like I'm giving her enough attention or whatever, I don't need to be combative. I could just go, oh, okay, I didn't, that's, unless your intentions are to not give her attention, then why wouldn't you just receive that and adjust? Right. So if this woman brings this up to her husband and he doesn't adjust, then it would stand to reason that he is intentionally trying to avoid her. This is not unintentional. It's not like he's just like head in the clouds. He's not, you can even say he's being inconsiderate, but it's not deliberate. You know what I mean? He's just not thinking about it. He's not thinking about her or whatever. Right.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the people that have been super nice to me. And I just want to say a big to those that have not. Um, I know I'm not perfect. Okay, I never once claimed to be perfect. I know there are two sides to every story. We probably won't ever know what his side is because he don't know how to communicate.
There's not always two sides to every story. I don't believe that. I don't. Because the whole idea of there's two sides to every story is this. The other, it's some type of like understanding or justification for whatever the other person is doing, right? So listen, if he's being abusive. And I'm not saying he is in this instance, even though you could kind of categorize it as abuse, but I'm not even saying that, right? But if he's being abusive, then there is no other side of the story. Like, I don't give a fuck about why he's being abusive. Like, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's crazy. Your daddy did it to you. Well, that makes, like, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, stop being abusive, right? So I don't buy into the whole it's two sides to every story. If he is neglecting his wife,
I love
then I don't think that there's really much he can tell me to make me be like, oh yeah, no, I feel you, bro. Because you and like she's saying, he's not articulating like why he's doing it. So you're not telling her why you're doing it. You continue to do it even after she brings it up to you, and and there's no change in sight. What is your side of the story? Why do I give a fuck about what you have to say? I don't care. All you're going to try to do is justify it.
him to death, okay? Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have stayed this long if I didn't love him. And for those of y'all saying I don't make him a priority, this, that, and the other, you don't know my marriage, okay? My husband's always been a top priority for me. Thank you very much. Okay? And then for those saying that maybe I should put some makeup on and do something with myself, no, that's why he doesn't like me anymore.
Are these men that are saying this? Because sounds like men. I should have read the comments more. I only read a few, but yeah, it sounds like typical male responses to a woman getting online and being very vulnerable, and then them weaponizing that against her, because that's what men love to do.
Once again, sit on it and spin, okay? Because I looked like this when he got with me. Oh, a lot of y'all were saying that maybe I should talk to him and not the internet. You don't think I tried that? I communicate with my husband. He knows my feelings. He knows where I stand on things. It's him that doesn't communicate. Okay. A lot of y'all are saying that my toddler in the bed is the problem. No, it's not, because while the toddler is falling asleep in the bed with me, we're doing that while my husband gets on the game, which is cool. Him playing the game at night, that's cool. That's fine. He's a gamer. That's his thing.
We're not doing that. She's doing that. He's on the game while she's putting the toddler to bed.
I'm not dissing the gamers, okay? But the toddler falls asleep with me because he's a contact sleeper, so hop off it. I don't care what y'all gotta say, okay? But I text my husband. I'm like, hey, he's ready to go to bed. He's ready for you to move him because he's gotten too heavy for me to move him. And so he comes up here, he puts him in his bed, and then goes right back downstairs, doesn't say a word to me, and hops on the game, and then stays on the game until I don't know what hour, because I go to sleep, and then goes and gets on the couch and goes to sleep. Just to kind of give
you Look, I'll even give him an out. He's addicted to video games. You know what I'm saying? Like, which don't, it ain't good, but I'm just saying, like, but it just sounds like he don't like this woman. She's right. It really just sounds like he doesn't like her. And what justification would or could he have for not liking her? Probably none. Probably has zero justification for not liking her. She ain't cheat. She don't, I'm gonna use what the men do. She don't cheat, she don't beat, and she raised the baby. Like, what is your beef with her? What is your beef? Are you jealous of the kid?
a little background. I work from home. I have always been the breadwinner of our family. So he
Oh my God.
has not held down a job like I have. So he's gone
Wow.
years without a job. He recently just went 2 months without a job. And guess what? I still stood by his side.
Wow. Wow. Well, there goes that whole men argument, the provider protector bullshit. Wow. And she paying the bills. God damn. Which now it's starting to make more sense, because the science on this, right? What the studies reveal is when a woman makes more money, or when the woman is the breadwinner of the family, the men become resentful and they check out. So now now that's making sense. He feels useless, or it could be he feels useless. He feels like he doesn't have any utility in the relationship, but that's because he's not actually interested in having a utility in the relationship. He wants to do the easiest job, which is to go out and work, and the most rewarding job, which is to go out and work, because everybody has to go out and work anyway. And he's like, well, I might as well get all these benefits from doing the thing that I was going to already be doing. That way I don't have to do anything extra and work on myself. And the expectations for me are extremely low, and so on and so forth. So that's what that sounds like to me.
And was with him. I appreciate all the advice and whatnot, but some of y'all act like this was my first thought was to make a TikTok and to run the TikTok because I haven't tried to fix. God, maybe the toddler is the problem. But y'all act like I haven't been trying to fix this relationship. So, like I said, I appreciate the tips and advice and all that, but some of y'all acting like you know us in real life and you don't.
But ultimately, it just seems like it could be a result of her being the breadwinner and him having like some resentment towards her and not wanting, and him just not wanting to step up in other ways like women do when they're not the breadwinners. Women just feel the needs that need to be filled. They see a need, they feel it. Men aren't conditioned to be like that, and we're uninterested in doing that. We're just not. We're uninterested in doing that, and he might be resentful. He might be resentful towards her for being the breadwinner. And she seems like a nice person, which for some reason in these instances it pisses the men off more. But and I think it's because like the women don't give the men any reason to hate them, and they want a reason to hate the women beyond the aside from the fact that the women make more money than them. They want a real reason to hate the women, but the women never give them a reason, so that makes him hate the women even more a lot of times, right? He wants to be justified in his hatred because he knows right now it's stupid to feel a certain type of way about the woman who has been holding him down and taking care of him and his child this whole time. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So he wants something to justify it. And she's just not giving it to him. So good luck to her though. And hopefully she could come out of this a better person and drop the dead weight. I mean, hopefully he can figure it out too, because there's a chance he can figure it out, but probably not.